This is the fifth and final program on our practice test, and this involves turtle graphics and functions. So we're going to write a function called square, and I'm going to rename it squares because it's going to do more than one. It will accept three arguments: the turtle, the length of one side of the square, and the number of squares to draw. The pen color, pen width, turtle location, turtle direction will have been determined before calling the function. The function should draw the specified number of squares spaced at equal intervals in a circle. Okay, so here's some examples. I pass in the turtle. I want length of 100 for the sides, and I want to draw 5 squares. So I take 360 divided by 5. That's how much I turn every time. This one, t and 100 again. This time it's 16. So I need to divide 16 into 360, and I get 22 and a half. So it's going to turn 22 and a half degrees every single time. Okay. So it's going to require a for loop. Every time I go through the for loop, I'm going to draw a square. So let's flip over to Python here. And I've got my shell. This stuff is going to be pretty much the same all the time. So I just copied and pasted that. And apparently I've got a bunch of blank lines on the end here that it doesn't like. Does that get rid of them all? What does it say now? Oh, there's still a line 29 down there. Hit delete one more time. Okay, so that gets rid of that one. Here it doesn't like all the white space in between, but that's fine. So we're going to call a function called squares. And we're going to pass in our turtle t. And we're going to pass in 100. And we're going to pass in 5, just like in the example. And let's get rid of some of the extra space there. Now it's got a red X over here because squares has not been defined yet. Okay. The convention is to put our function definitions before anything else. We're going to do def, and we've got to give it a name, squares. And then in parentheses, we're going to give the t as the turtle, and then we're going to have a side length, and we're going to have a count of how many squares to draw. Okay. Put the colon on the end, and our definition will get indented 4 spaces. So what I want to do is count tells me how many squares to draw. So let's do for I in range count. Okay. And what I want to do, every time I go through this loop, I want to draw a square. I'm just going to put a little comment here that says draw a square. And after I'm done drawing the square, then I want to turn before I draw the next one. So, drawing a square is pretty straightforward. We go t dot fd, side length. And then t dot left, 90. And we do that 4 times. I could actually put a loop in here and say do that 4 times, but I'm just going to do Control C and a Control V until I've got 4 of them. And then after I do all of my turns for all of the 4 sides of the square, then I want to turn t to the left or the right, doesn't really matter here. The amount I want to turn is 360 divided by the count. So let's see what we have here. Comment block wants a space after the pound sign, and that should get rid of that. And up here, it wants 2 blank lines before the name or the definition of the function. And so now Spider is happy. Let's go ahead and run this. We should get something that looks like this, except I did a black background, I think, over here. So and lime text, but the image should look the same. Let's go ahead and run that, and we get, there it is. And it ran pretty fast, but if you count them, there's 5 of them. The first one starts out, nice and level here, and then we turn 72 degrees, 72 degrees, 72 degrees, 72 degrees, and draw successive squares. And let's get out of there. And the other one I said was, let's just change the 5 to a 16. Let's go ahead and run that. So there should be 4 of them in every quadrant. Let's run it. By the time I get flipped over, it'll probably be all done. Okay, there we got to see some of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 of them. And each one is 22.5 degrees. You can see from here, to here is a 45-degree angle, and we're doing half of that, so it'd be 22.5. So that takes care of our turtle problem from the practice test, and that is the last problem on the practice test. So let's end the video there.